NEC 314.23 bone addresses the secure fastening of non-metallic boxes. Non-metallic boxes must be securely fastened in place and supported in accordance with 314.23a. The intent of 314.23 bone is to ensure these boxes are securely fastened and supported to prevent movement or displacement. This requirement applies to all non-metallic boxes, regardless of size or location. The use of screws to fasten a non-metallic box toward the front edge interior is not specifically prohibited by the NEC. However, it is crucial to ensure the screws are properly sized and installed to provide adequate support for the box. The screw should be long enough to penetrate the framing member behind the box. The screws should also be spaced appropriately to provide even support. It is important to consider the accessibility of the screws for future maintenance or repair. Screws installed toward the front edge interior of the box may be difficult to access if the box is covered by drywall or other materials. Ensuring a secure and accessible installation involves several considerations. Firstly, choose screws of appropriate length and gauge. The length must be sufficient to penetrate the framing member securely, providing a strong anchor for the box. The gauge should be adequate to withstand the weight and potential strain on the box. Secondly, consider the spacing of the screws. Distribute the screws evenly around the box to provide uniform support and prevent tilting or shifting. Avoid concentrating screws in one area, which could weaken the box or framing member. Thirdly, evaluate the accessibility of the screws. While fastening from the front edge interior may be convenient in tight spaces, consider whether future access will be hindered. If so, explore alternative fastening methods that offer better accessibility without compromising security. Fourthly, ensure the framing member is sound and capable of supporting the box. If the framing is damaged or deteriorated, reinforce it before fastening the box. Fifthly, inspect the non-metallic box for any signs of damage or weakness. Cracks, warping, or other defects could compromise the box's ability to withstand the stresses of installation and use. Replace any damaged boxes before proceeding. The NEC emphasizes secure fastening to prevent hazards such as loose connections, strain on wiring, and potential dislodgement of the box. By following these guidelines, you can ensure the non-metallic box is securely fastened, providing a safe and reliable electrical installation. The selection of screws is critical for securing non-metallic boxes. Firstly, the screw type should be appropriate for the materials being joined. For wood framing, wood screws are generally suitable. For metal framing, sheet metal screws or self-tapping screws may be necessary. Secondly, the screw length must be sufficient to ensure adequate penetration into the framing member. A minimum penetration depth is typically specified by local building codes or industry standards. Thirdly, the screw gauge or diameter should be chosen to provide sufficient holding power without damaging the box or framing member. Overly large screws can crack the box, while undersized screws may not provide adequate support. Fourthly, consider using screws with a head design that provides a flush or recessed finish. This can prevent the screw head from protruding and interfering with the installation of drywall or other finishing materials. Fifthly, when fastening non-metallic boxes to metal framing, ensure the screws are compatible with the metal to prevent corrosion or galvanic reactions. Stainless steel screws are often a good choice for this application. In addition to screw selection, proper screw installation is essential for secure fastening. Firstly, pre-drilling pilot holes can help prevent cracking or splitting of the box or framing member, especially when using larger screws. Secondly, use a screwdriver or drill with adjustable torque settings to avoid over-tightening the screws. Over-tightening can strip the threads or damage the box. Thirdly, ensure the screws are driven straight and perpendicular to the surface being fastened. Angled screws can reduce holding power and increase the risk of loosening. Fourthly, inspect the screw heads after installation to ensure they are flush with the surface and not protruding. Protruding screw heads can create hazards and interfere with finishing work. Fifthly, if using self-tapping screws, apply firm and steady pressure while driving the screw to ensure it properly taps into the metal framing. Avoiding common mistakes during screw installation is also crucial. Firstly, avoid using excessively long screws that protrude through the back of the framing member. This can create hazards and interfere with other building components. Secondly, avoid using screws that are too short to provide adequate penetration into the framing member. This can result in a weak and unstable connection. Thirdly, avoid stripping the screw threads by over-tightening or using the wrong type of screwdriver. Stripped screws provide little or no holding power and should be replaced. Fourthly, avoid using damaged or corroded screws. Damaged screws may not install properly, and corroded screws can weaken over time. Fifthly, avoid reusing screws that have been previously installed and removed. Used screws may have damaged threads or reduced holding power. Accessibility for future maintenance or repair is a critical consideration when fastening non-metallic boxes. Firstly, consider the location of the box and the likelihood of future access being required. Boxes located in areas that are difficult to reach or prone to damage may require more frequent maintenance. Secondly, ensure the screws used to fasten the box are accessible with standard tools. Avoid using screws that require specialized tools or are difficult to reach with a screwdriver or drill. Thirdly, consider using removable covers or panels to provide access to the box without having to remove drywall or other finishing materials. Fourthly, document the location of the box and the type of fasteners used for future reference. This can save time and effort when maintenance or repairs are required. Fifthly, when installing boxes in concealed locations, such as behind walls or ceilings, consider using access panels or other means of providing future access without having to damage the surrounding structure. Exploring alternative fastening methods can be beneficial in situations where screws are not ideal or practical. Firstly, adhesive fasteners, such as construction adhesive or epoxy, can provide a strong and permanent bond between the box and the framing member. These adhesives are often suitable for use with non-metallic boxes and can eliminate the need for screws altogether. Secondly, cable ties or straps can be used to secure the box to framing members or other structural elements. These fasteners are often used in situations where access is limited or where the box needs to be easily removable. Thirdly, mounting brackets or clips can be used to attach the box to framing members or surfaces. These brackets are typically made of metal or plastic and provide a secure and adjustable means of fastening the box. Fourthly, expansion anchors can be used to fasten the box to concrete or masonry walls. These anchors expand when tightened, providing a strong and reliable connection. Fifthly, consider using a combination of fastening methods to achieve the desired level of security and accessibility. For example, you might use adhesive fasteners to provide initial support and then supplement with screws for added strength. Proper planning and preparation are essential for a successful non-metallic box installation. Firstly, carefully plan the location of the box and ensure it is properly aligned with the wiring and other components. Secondly, gather all the necessary tools and materials, including screws, screwdrivers, drill, and any other fasteners or accessories. Thirdly, inspect the framing member and the non-metallic box for any signs of damage or weakness. Replace any damaged components before proceeding. Fourthly, pre-drill pilot holes if necessary to prevent cracking or splitting of the box or framing member. Fifthly, ensure the work area is clean and free of debris. This will help prevent accidents and ensure a clean and professional installation. Understanding local building codes and regulations is crucial for ensuring compliance and safety. Firstly, research the specific requirements for fastening non-metallic boxes in your area. These requirements may vary depending on the type of construction, the location of the box, and other factors. Secondly, consult with a qualified electrician or building inspector if you have any questions or concerns about the code requirements. Thirdly, obtain any necessary permits or approvals before starting the installation. Fourthly, document all aspects of the installation, including the location of the box, the type of fasteners used, and any other relevant information. This documentation can be helpful for future inspections or maintenance. Fifthly, follow all safety precautions and guidelines when working with electrical components. This includes wearing appropriate personal protective equipment such as gloves and safety glasses, and disconnecting power to the circuit before starting work. Regularly inspecting and maintaining non-metallic box installations is essential for ensuring continued safety and reliability. Firstly, periodically inspect the box and fasteners for any signs of damage, loosening, or corrosion. Secondly, tighten any loose screws or fasteners as needed. Thirdly, replace any damaged or corroded components promptly. Fourthly, ensure the box is properly labeled and identified. This can help prevent accidental damage or tampering. Fifthly, keep the area around the box clear of obstructions. This will ensure easy access for future maintenance or repairs. By following these guidelines, you can ensure non-metallic boxes are securely fastened, providing a safe and reliable electrical installation that complies with NEC 314.23 burn and other applicable codes and regulations. Remember to prioritize safety and consult with qualified professionals when necessary.